Hey guys, this is Jackie from Jack Gets Lost on a Book Hole, and after watching one of my favorite booktubers, Haley from Haley in Bookland, doing this particular tag, I was inspired to go ahead and do it myself. This is an old tag that has been around for a long time. I did it myself last year. Actually, I think around the same. No, actually, it was probably around. Probably around November or December when I did it. Um, or maybe last winter. I don't remember. But I do believe I did this last year. Um, and that is the book Scavenger Hunt. Oh, I wrote it down. And so I went ahead before I filmed this and go ahead and find the first one. Because that would probably take me the longest to find. And that is find a book with either a Z and the author's name, or like their name starts with a Z, or their last name starts with a Z, or with a title that starts with a Z. Unfortunately, I don't have Marcus Zuzak on my shelf anymore. I did used to have the book Thief, but I have since donated that book and have not read The Messenger. I Am the Messenger. Although I'm sure I could probably find that at the library or the used bookshop. I know I saw it one of those places, but if I saw it at the bookshop, it's probably gone by now. So I went ahead and decided to look through my collection of these hardback Barnes & Noble editions. This is Poe, Complete Tales and Poems of Edgar Allan Poe. And I figured there was bound to be at least one in here that had a Z. And I just realized the first one I spotted was actually a poem. It was one of his poems. So I don't know if that counts, but because I'm lazy and don't want to try wasting my time finding it, and I'm sure I'll have to refilm this again anyway because my mom will probably call me to come eat dinner. So Poe actually has a poem, Sonnet to Zante. It's a sonnet, hence the title. So, there, that's my Z. Oh, okay, so next, let's see, next we have, find a classic. Well, this is gonna be one easy, because I have quite a handful of those. I'll just go ahead and just see these from the grab. That is Animal Farm by George Orwell. I really love this edition because this is it looks like it's published in the form of like a children's book. It's obviously not a child's story, because if you know what Animal Farm is about, and I do know what it's about, even though I have not read it yet, but I know I have an idea of what it's about. But it's really cool because it's like published like a kid's book, like those really big editions with the pictures, and I think these are equivalent to like the trade back editions of other books. They have these really cool illustrations. I remember when I first saw this book, I thought it was a kid's book. When I first saw it on our home library. So I really like this edition of it. Next, let's see. Okay. So next, I get to finally wear a sweater, like a sweater type. I'm really happy about that. Because it's felt like it's still summer here in North Carolina. It's really annoying. Because, I used to live up north, so I'm used to it being chilly at this time of year. Okay, find a book with a key on it. Well, this one I'm probably going to stick with the one I did last year. But let me see. thought there would be a key on The Shining, but it doesn't have one. Okay, you know what? So I don't waste time because just so I can at least try to get this done before my mom called me down for dinner. I'm gonna go with the one. I'm gonna go with what I used last year. Last time I did this, and that is The Psychic Book of Deliverance Dane by Catherine Howe. See, there's the key right there. This is a book about a journalist who was doing research, learning about an ancestor who happens to be a witch during the Salem witch trials. Like, she discovers, like, her book, and, you know, and she decides to learn more about her. So, it's good, if you like, you know, reading about witches, and the history of witches, like Salem witch trials type stuff. Okay, so next is, I'm just gonna stand here, number 4 is find an object on your shelf that isn't a book. That's easy, another easy one. I'm going to go with one of my Funko Pops. This here is Belle from Once Upon a Time, a show that I no longer watch, but I always liked this version of Belle. This is what I call Warrior Belle. So you see her little costume when she's trying to find this. She's going on this adventure to find this beast creature, not the beast from her own story, but another beast that seems to be roaming. So I always like this outfit, although she doesn't actually do any fighting or anything. Fighting a beastly creature. She just uses her wits, and I'm all for Belle using her wits. I mean, that's who she is. But at the same time, I almost want her to be able to do, like, fighting, too. I don't want her to play the role of the damsel in distress, always being held prisoner. Especially with the way they write her on the show, and how much she is, like, the damsel in distress, or she's Little Miss Judgmental. Sorry, that's a whole another story, a whole other video. I have a whole bunch of these, actually. Not the ones, related ones, but Funko Pops. Okay, so next, let's see, question number 5 is, find the oldest book on your shelf. Okay, well, I'm going to, almost bumped into my new ottoman. I'm going to go with, I know it's somewhere, here it is. I mean, this isn't really that old compared to, like, but this is my oldest, and that is my mom's edition, given to her by her own mom. This is given to her in 1974. Let's see if I can find the copyright. 1973. So I think this is. I don't know if it's 1964 or 1973, but either way, it's old. It's my oldest copy. I kept it because I thought it was, like, really cool to have an older edition of the book. Okay, so find a book with a girl on the cover. I know this is probably an easy one. I'll just go with this one. Okay, there's this one, the third book in the Infernal Devices trilogy. I have mixed feelings about having people on covers. like sometimes I think the what's on the cover is really the person on the cover is really, pretty and attractive looking. And I think this is one of those ones where I really liked the person on the cover. I think she's really pretty. But I get why people don't like it. So, okay. Put this one back. Okay, put it back. I hope this video won't be too long, and I won't have to remake it for the third time. Okay, so let's see. Question number, that was number 6. Number 7, book with an animal on it. Okay, let's see. What books do I have? I want to have some more. I'll go with this one. This is a mythological animal, but still an animal. This one has a dragon on it. Right there. This is actually a book I got from a convention. I normally, unfortunately, last time I bought books from a convention, I got burned a little. Not burned as in it was a bad book, but it was a book that I just was not into. So, this is a book about dragons and not a paranormal thing, because I'm no longer into paranormal as much as I used to be. So, there's that one. And I definitely look forward to I might be reading this next month, actually. Because December is going to be the month of dragons for me. That's what I've decided. December dragons. Okay. Next is number 8, male protagonist. Well, again, another easy one. Let's see. I will go with. Let me just go ahead and I'll just grab. Just grab this one. Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. The male protagonist is Holden Caulfield, who is the most annoying protagonist on the planet. I almost got rid of this book, but then my sister was like, I wasn't going to give it, because I thought this might have been a copy she loaned me, and I offered to give it back to her, but, she was like, oh, you should keep it so you can have your own copy, and so I kind of felt bad and felt obligated to keep it, even though I gave it, 3 stars. I try not to keep the 3-star books. Okay, so, next. Find a book with only words. Okay, that's going to be hard, but you know what? Wait a second. Maybe this, I might have had one. I might not have reused that one. I might use this. Yay! I can use this. Oh wait, no. Never mind. That's something else. Does this one have anything in there? 10.5, drop the sonic screwdriver. I'll do that later. Okay, well, I'm counting this one at the same time. It technically has what looks like parchment on it, but I'm counting it because it only has that. This is Thomas Harris, the guy who wrote, this is the guy who wrote the Hannibal novels. Most people have probably seen Silence of the Lambs and Hannibal and Red Dragon. And the Hannibal series that is on, I think it was an FX series. So these are the books that all those screen stories are based on. This, the, this is the prequel about Hannibal as a boy. That was something that my best friend was trying to get me to read, and I told her I would eventually get to it. I just hadn't got around to buying it yet. But I got that at a bookstore for like $4, and there was this whole deal of this month where buy one mystery and get the third one free. Okay, so I jumped all over that. Number 10. Find a book with illustrations. Ooh, that's gonna be hard. Oh wait, no. Well, I can use this. This can count, I think. I think this counts. Oh, dang it, just fell. This one doesn't have illustrations in the book, but again, I don't want to waste too much time, so I'm going to count it. The cover looks like an illustration. This is Kelly Link, her collection of short stories. I think she writes like magical realism, from what I've gotten from the two I've read. I've been meaning to read more because I've read 2 of her stories, but I just haven't got around to reading any more. So it's kind of, it kind of reminded me of the Nancy Drew covers, and the girl is even blonde. So, like if you read Nancy Drew, doesn't this look like Nancy Drew? Okay, let's put this back. Okay. Alright, next. Okay, gold lettering. Oh, well, I may as well just use that one again, the one I showed you before. Hannibal Rising. This is also gold. This is gold lettering. Oh. Come on. Okay, so I'm just not going to use this one again because this is gold lettering. See? Alright. Let's see, where was I? Find a diary. I already know which one I'm going to use for that one. That is Belle's Library. This is considered like a diary of Belle where she talks about the books that she's read and like talks about her favorite quotes from those books. And how she relates to what's going on in her life. I don't know if any other diary reads in here. Okay. Number 13. Common last name. Author with a common last name. Okay, so let's see. Let's see if I have one. Okay, I will go with Clark, I think is a common last name. So Susanna Clark. I'm going to read this next month, as in November. I've been wanting to read this. So, and this was a great find because, again, I got this from the used bookstore and it was only $3 or $4. So that was awesome. I've been waiting to find that book. Okay, so next. Oh. Okay, so that was find a book with a close-up of something. with what other people have done, which is this one. Stephanie Meyer's, or not Stephanie Meyer, Marissa Meyer. All of her books have like close-ups usually, so this is a close-up of a crown. This is her collection of novellas from her series, The Lunar Chronicles. I loved that series. I've been waiting to read this, but it's just I've never had the I wanted to. I'm weird about like not that I don't still want to continue with it, but I'm just one of those people that that I just eventually after a while I'm not thinking about it as much anymore. But it's not that I still don't really want to read it. It's just it's not. There's so many other newer books that I want to get to, or books that I've never read, that I'm wanting to get to, but they're not new. They're just books I've been wanting to read. So, okay. Number 15. Find a book that takes place in the oldest time period. This is gonna be a little hard. Where's here. This I'll count this one. I think this one. Ken Folds the Pillars of the Earth. The 12th century. Here, I think that's my oldest. Well, probably not, but it's gonna work. It's my choice. This takes place in the 12th century. I think it's about a church or something. Or no, it's about a cathedral, a Gothic cathedral, that kind of. Yeah, it's pretty old. 12th century. I don't know what decades that is though. So, but I think that's old enough. I think. Find a hardcover dust jacket. I know the perfect one I'm going to use. What is this one? Again, another find at the used bookstore. This is F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Side of Paradise and The Last Tycoon. So I guess those were pretty short. So he was able to put 2 books in one because this isn't that big. Let me check the print. Small print. Yep, small print. I definitely been meaning to read more of F. Scott Fitzgerald because I just fell in love with The Great Gatsby. So definitely want to read more of Fitzgerald's work. So about that. Okay, so let's see, not the last one. Number 17. Find teal or turquoise colored book. Oh, this is gonna be hard. Is that turquoise? I don't know if it's turquoise or not. I don't know. This might just be light blue. I don't think that counts. I don't think that's turquoise. I don't know, maybe. Okay, well. Here, I got 2. Okay, so, I better hurry because I can hear my dad filling cups. My dad or mom filling their cups. Okay, so either this one, but I don't know if this is turquoise or teal. This is Drums of Arnhem, the 4th book in the Outlander series, or this might be a lot closer. The Flight of Gemma Hardy, which again another find at the used bookstore. Which is a retelling of Jane Eyre set in the 50s, so in the 20th century. So, there, 2. I better fix said I need to hurry because I can hear the sounds of my parents filling cups with ice, meaning that dinner is probably getting ready. Getting ready to get in there. Alright, it's in there. I'll worry about that later. Okay, so next. Alright. 2 more. I need to hurry. Find a book with stars on it. Okay, do I have any of these? I usually just go ahead and do stars above. I don't know if you guys can hear, but I have the Ninth Gate starring Johnny Depp on TV right now. I don't know if you guys can actually hear that. Yeah, it does. The Night Circus, which I am planning to reread soon. See, there's some little stars if you can see on the cover. Although you probably, if you've seen the book, I'm sure you know if you've read it, you'll know it has stars on it. I might put that on my November reads list. I want to read next. Okay, finally, last one. Find an adult book. Okay, well, you know what? I'm just gonna go with I go with this one. The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I think this is considered an adult book. Definitely not. It doesn't look like what. Yeah. International bestseller too. I did start reading a little bit of it, but that was when I borrowed it from the library. So that's my adult read. Okay. So that's alright. So I'm almost done. Okay, so got all that done. Hopefully this book will fit. So that was my scavenger hunt book tag. If you want to do this, like whether you've never done it or you want to do it again, you know, I tag you. And that's okay. And that's it. So I hope you guys do it. Because it's really fun. You know, it just takes a little while. Hopefully this video, hopefully I'm not wasting my time and that this is going to be something I'm going to have to refilm tomorrow. Alright, bye.